Hey there, this is Dan from the Purple Golf Academy, and today I want to talk about the changes Tiger Woods has been making to his swing over the last year or so, which I think are really exciting, and they're boding very, very well for 2012. So on the left here we've got a swing from earlier this year, his new action, and on the right here is his old swing under Hank Haney from early 2010. And if we look at the address positions here, you'll see on the left here how much more over the ball Tiger is with his upper body, and how much more vertically his arms are hanging in his new setup position. In his old setup here, he's standing much taller and his arms are much further away from his body, and that really is a factor of the things that he's working on with Sean Foley in his golf swing. Now if we take a look at the backswing in Tiger's new action here, you're going to see quite a difference off the ball. The hands are staying much closer to the body there, and in this sort of quarterback position you see a very distinct angle there between the left arm and the club shaft. Now if we look at the equivalent position in Tiger's older swing here on the right, you're going to see here how he lets the club flow much more around the body, and the left arm works much more away from the body here. There's the left arm really there and the club are forming a straight line, where here there's a big distinct angle between the club shaft and Tiger's left arm. So he's really feeling like the hands are getting closer to his body, and the arms are working more under the body in that backswing. Whereas in the old backswing here, the left arm's working more away from the body, and the club is being allowed to swing around the body. Now if we take this up a little bit further, in Tiger's old action, the left arm had a tendency to really sort of come away from the body in this halfway back position, and the club shaft would get very, very shallow there, and the club head working behind him. In the newer swing here, the arms continue to work deeper, and that club shaft tends to get a lot steeper in this backswing position here, with the club head basically more in front of the body. Here in the old swing, the left arm would work away from the body, and the club head would therefore fall behind him. The result of that, at the top of the old swing here, you're going to see an excessively laid off position at the top here, where the club head tends to fall a little bit behind the hands. That's our top of the backswing position there, and the club head there is fallen behind the hands at the top. In Tiger's new swing here on the left, we'll see a position at the top that looks much more supported, much more balanced at the top there, and that club in a much better sort of synchronized position there, in harmony with the body turn. Here on the right, you can see the result of that setup and takeaway position here is that the shoulder plane at the top is very shallow, and if we draw Tiger's spine angle on here as well, just to illustrate this point, you'll see that his spine angle and shoulders do not really form a 90-degree angle, they're not perpendicular, whereas in Tiger's new action here under Foley, his shoulder turn here is definitely at 90 degrees to his spine angle there. So what that means is that Tiger's turning in a much more efficient way on the left here. He's turning using the ground in his backswing, staying centered, and getting the arms to work around the body. In the old swing, Tiger's shoulders were turning much more level, and the left arm was working up away from the body, and as a result the club head would fall behind him. Now all that means in the downswing is that with the heavier headed clubs, the 3-wood and the driver, it means that club head is going to continue to fall behind the hands in the downswing. Now there's a bit of a misconception about Tiger's downswing, I believe. People have always said that Tiger tends to get a little bit trapped on in his downswing here. Well, you can see in this sort of halfway down position here on the right, Tiger's arms are not behind his body there, but the problem Tiger has is that the club head tends to fall behind the body. So particularly with the driver here, the club head tends to fall in behind him here, and as a result his arms are forced to work very much away from the body in the through swing. If we compare that to what he's doing in his new action here, in a similar position here in delivery, the left arm there is in a much more vertical position again, whereas here in the old swing the left arm is much more away from the body, and as a result the club head tends to fall behind. Now if you look at the way he releases the club here, you can see the club comes from the inside and the right arm's climbing on top, and the right arm is working away from the body. That is the reason why Tiger was very wild with the driver with the old swing. In his new swing, his arms are working much more left with the body through impact there, so that the arms are swinging to the left and the right arm's not climbing on top. That means he's able to release the club much more naturally with the body, and you can see this more rounded look he achieves in his follow through as the right arm works across the body. Much more balanced looking position there in the follow through. in Tiger's older swing, the right arm would come much more from on top here, and you get this kind of ungainly looking follow through as the right arm tends to work away from the body, and the club kind of falls down his back. So definitely a much better look in the new swing for Tiger. He's really getting the turn much more synchronized, much more centered, and the arms are working much better with the body, and he's really able to then keep the club head in front of the turn. That's the key thing. Now I just want to illustrate this point by taking a look at some of the drills that Tiger is using in his practice swings at the moment. Now this is from a recent event, and what you're going to see here is the way that Tiger really sort of works the shaft left in the downswing there. Now a lot of people are seeing this as Tiger trying to come over the top in his downswing, but if we just pause it here, if I just draw a line down the shaft here from the top of his sort of practice backswing here, now if we step this forward, what you'll notice is the way that the shaft angle steepens. He's standing the club up in the downswing. Rather than allowing the club head to fall and the shaft to shallow, he's actually standing the shaft up there. That's his feeling. Or getting the club head to work sort of out in front of him more. And that's kind of the opposite of what we were talking about earlier, where with the driver swing the club head would fall in behind him. Now he's not trying to work his arms out in front of the body here. He's not trying to come over the top with the body turn. He's trying to get his arms to work closer to the body, if anything. But the key thing is that club head coming from a more in front of the body position, or standing that shaft up more, so he's able to release the club here with the arms and the body all working left, so that club face stays very square to his turn. So in my opinion, in Tiger's old swing, the big problem was that the left arm would work off the chest in the backswing, and the arms would work excessively away from the body in the downswing. Now I think Tiger's trying to get his arms much closer to his body through the swing, and therefore he's able to get the club head out in front of the body. I think the improvements he's made to his swing are very, very significant, and I think it's going to bode really, really well for Tiger next year. To me, he's looking like he's got more control with the longer clubs than he's ever had, and that's pretty ominous. So really exciting changes, and hopefully that video can help you guys at home as well. As always, if anyone wants a video lesson like this one of their own golf swing, then please come to us at purplegolf.com/academy. We do fantastic online lessons, and we'd be happy to help you with your game. Good luck.